The 95-year-old monarch is being treated at Windsor Castle.
Let's bring in royal commentator Dickie Arbiter with the latest on this. Dickie, thank you for your time. It's worrying news, of course. What is the palace saying about the Queen's health and her condition?
Well, all the palace are saying, and they're being very upfront, saying that she has mild cold symptoms, which is compatible with the Omicron variant, and that she is resting and she'll undertake light duties. What these light duties are, they don't say, but my guess is she'll carry on doing her red dispatch boxes, which are full of government papers, which need to be taken seriously and sorted out on a daily basis, and she'll do correspondence. She might even do Zooms, we don't know, but certainly light duties, and Zoom's not exactly onerous, but we just have to wait and see.
She should just take a week off and recover, in our opinion. But Prince Charles tested positive last week. Do you think that's probably how she got the virus?
Very difficult to say. Prince Charles saw her about 12 days ago after an investiture at Windsor Castle, and it wasn't a very long meeting, but the COVID variant has found its way into Windsor Castle. So it's not just the Queen, but it's several other people within the castle precincts. And it's now penetrated the bubble. You know, here we are, we've gone almost 2 years without it venturing into Windsor Castle, and now it's there. But a careful watch is being kept on the Queen, and she is self-isolating, which is what she's supposed to do, and she's following government guidelines at the moment.
Well, with the Queen self-isolating, Charles and Camilla also in isolation, does that mean that Will and Kate will have to step up to, you know, take over some of those duties that were in place?
Well, Charles is not in self-isolation anymore. He's out. He's done and dusted. He tested positive 12 days ago. Camilla is due out in the next couple of days or so. So if there is a need for a Councillor of State, then William and Charles can step up. So that's not a problem. They have got engagements this coming week, and everything is sort of fairly normal on that front. There's nothing extra for them to do at the moment. So, you know, we're okay. It's business as usual, except for the Queen, who is taking things easy.
Well, let's talk about the doctors, because obviously they'll be watching her very, very closely. She is 95 years old. That is not a great age to get COVID, anecdotally, as we've seen. What would they be doing with her? Would they be around-the-clock doctors there? What's the situation on the ground in Buck Palace?
Well, doctors are on call. They're not there all the time. They are part of the royal household, but they are practicing medics, whether they're surgeons or GPs. But they are on call. They are available if, as and when required. They're at the end of a telephone. They're at the end of a Zoom. So it's not a problem. The Queen, as I said a moment ago, it is mild cold symptoms. She is robust. She is pretty healthy. Yes, she's 95, going on 96 in 9 weeks' time. As we saw her a couple of weekends ago, hale and hearty, enjoying meeting Women's Institute at Sandringham, Women's Institute of which she's been a member since 1943, and she lit up the whole room. She also, this past week, she's done 2 Zooms with ambassadors and 1 face-to-face with Defence Services secretaries. They're the link between the monarch and the Ministry of Defence. And she was in pretty good form. So, yeah, it's a bit of a blow being hit by this positive test, but she's very stoic, she's very pragmatic, and she'll do as she's told.
We wish her a very speedy recovery, of course. Dickie, we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you very much.
Let's bring in Nine's royal commentator, 900 royal commentator, Nat Oliveri, this morning. Nat, it's pretty concerning. We spoke to Dickie Arbiter before. He seems to think that she'll be looked after really well. How do you think she's holding up?
Good morning, David and Sylvia. Well, from the palace, it seems that it's okay, actually. Despite her having COVID-19, the Queen is experiencing just mild flu-like symptoms, mild cold-like symptoms. So hopefully not too serious. And we did get an indication that her symptoms may not be that serious, because just hours after the palace issued that statement, the Queen signed off on a message of congratulations to Great Britain's Olympic team in Beijing. So that is a good sign we're hearing from the palace. All they've said so far is that she's experiencing the mild cold-like symptoms, but she does expect to continue light duties at Windsor Castle this week, and she will continue to receive medical attention and follow all the appropriate guidelines. Now, we believe this is part of a small outbreak of COVID-19 at Windsor Castle, breaking Her Majesty's COVID-safe bubble that she has been living under since the start of the pandemic in March 2020.
OK, so as you mentioned, she is carrying on with some light duties within the castle. So who will take over and step up for her public engagements while she's in isolation?
Yeah, well, the Queen is expected to cancel at least one in-person engagement this week because she doesn't want to pass the virus on to anyone else. However, we are hearing in the UK that the Queen has made it clear she doesn't want senior royals of her family to take over from her duties. Now, we have the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate. She's due to visit Denmark on Tuesday and Wednesday to meet with Crown Princess Mary and carry out a few engagements there. Prince William already has an investiture planned at Windsor Castle, and Prince Charles and Camilla, they have a planned break from royal duties this week. This was already in the diary, and Charles is now out of COVID isolation. We saw him last week out and about. Camilla is due to come out of that in a few days' time, and Princess Anne, her diary's already full, so it looks like the Queen will be continuing her work where possible, doing engagements via the computer, as she has been so well at doing since the outbreak of the pandemic.
All right, meanwhile, Prince Harry has voiced concerns about bringing his kids to the UK. There's been a bit of argy-bargy about that. Do you expect he's even going to visit?
Look, it's hoped that he will come over, especially for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations later this year. But look, on Friday, Prince Harry's legal team officially launched that legal action against the UK government, arguing that when he does return to the UK, he and his family does not feel safe. He's asking for police protection, and he says that he does want to come back to see his family and friends and to support his charities, and the UK is and always will be his home. Now, Harry says that his private security team that he has in the United States doesn't have adequate jurisdiction when he does come back to the UK. That is why he's asking for this police protection. Now, in response, the UK government says that because of Harry's exceptional status, meaning his place in the line of succession, he already will have some form of police protection. Now, it is an indication that when Harry does come back, he will be there in some form of official capacity. So perhaps Prince Philip's memorial service at the end of March, or the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations in June.
OK, interesting. Nat Oliveri, we appreciate the update. Thank you.
Thanks, Nat.
Returning now to our top story and those major health fears for the Queen, the 95-year-old monarch being treated at Windsor Castle after testing positive to COVID-19. Let's bring in royal editor at the Daily Mirror, Russell Myers in the UK. Russell, good morning to you. Worrying stuff.
Good morning, Karl. Well, I think, everyone has been worried for the Queen's health in recent weeks. And I think that lots of people were dreading the news that if she had contracted COVID. But we are living in a world of vaccines. She is triple jabbed. So we are told by the palace that she's suffering from mild cold-like symptoms. And I imagine there'll be an update during the week as the doctors are looking after her.
Do we know how she got it yet? No, she was in contact with Charles, who had the virus.
Well, she was, and that was a big fear a few days ago because Charles tested positive a couple of days after seeing her. Camilla tested positive after seeing Charles as well. But we understand there has been a bit of a breakout at Windsor Castle. There's been quite a big bubble in place over the last couple of years, but with the restrictions sort of easing over here, then it was probably just one of those things, I think.
Are they giving a full disclosure on not just her condition but her treatment?
No, I think that comes under sort of private medical aspect of her health. The palace were good enough to make the announcement that she has contracted it. She was tested positive after having daily tests during the week, and I've been told that she's going to be doing light duties this week, taking it easy, putting her feet up, and no doubt we'll probably get an update during the week.
It's just the happiest we've seen her in so long.
It is. I mean, she's had her own health scares the last few months, forced to take a bit of time out under doctor's orders. But she's been looking rather well. I mean, again, we forget she's 95, don't we? And she has been looking rather sprightly. But I think she's just got to take it easy in this instance.
Incredible energy. Good on you, Russell. Thank you.